I hate being a hater. Actually, no. I really don't hate being a hater, but oopsie, maybe I shouldn't swear. This is why I'm not good at giving book reviews, because this is how I talk. I'm just like, oh, I just love it because it makes me feel good. I think that's literally it. I liked, I didn't love. Like when the man is jealous, I'm like, yes, he better be jealous. But when Violet is jealous, I'm like, girl, please, like, come on. I think the name Kingfisher, I could not get behind it. Like, I was like, Kingfisher what? But then eventually I'm like, okay, Kingfisher. Like,
I've got an internet crush. She's not a celebrity, but she's taken. So can't help falling in love.
hi you guys, I am back with my book reviews for April and May. I can't read at the speed of most people, so these videos take longer for me to push out because I take longer to read. So today we'll be talking about the books that I've read. I read 5 books in total, which I feel really accomplished with because they were all like pretty lengthy books, and I felt like that was pretty good for my timing. So I have been reading a lot of just fantasy, romance. Those are kind of my genres that I get pulled towards the most. I do want to start expanding, but at the same time, it's really hard for me to do that when I read these fantasy books. I am like in it to win it, and it makes me want to read. I've read like self-help books and I don't feel the same urgency to read. It's kind of just something that's like there, and I'm like, okay, I should read this because I feel like I need to, but I don't have any desire to. So I'm kind of just going with the flow and just reading the books that I feel the most drawn to. And honestly, I'm not complaining. I think it's great. I think it's amazing. I do want a goal to have 50 books read by the end of this year. And I'm currently at 15, I believe, and it's June. So I gotta get going. I really gotta start picking up my reading because it's coming soon. Okay, so I'm just gonna get into it. I just want to say as well, take all my opinions with a grain of salt. I feel like posting this stuff is more for me than for the general public. It's more just for me reliving my book reviews and just like wanting to be in my world of books. Also, I'm sorry if the lighting is terrible. I'm usually angled this way, but the sun is at like a weird point right now, so I'm just gonna keep it like this so that it's kind of like beaming. I read the whole thing through. I read the Fourth Wing series, and I love it. I love it so much. I'm coming in from the future to talk about Fourth Wing because I didn't give you guys a summary of what Fourth Wing is. Basically, Fourth Wing is about a girl named Violet, and they are in a war college. She is going into a war college. Her mother is like the general of like the army. I could be wrong. Sorry, I kind of like lost track. But she goes into a war college, and in that war college, they're split up into different quadrants. A part of the people in the war college are the marked ones, and the marked ones actually come from like an enemy territory. But the sad thing is, the backstory of that is that everyone in this city basically killed all the marked ones' parents, and so now they're in this war college as well. And yeah, that leader, his name is Zayden, and he's only like 23, and he and Violet fall in love, and they do their whole thing. And then you have to go through all these different like it's kind of like Wipeout, you know, like the show Wipeout. You go through like all these different obstacles, and you have to bond a dragon. So then once they bond their dragons, and they go on like different quests because they find out why their current city is actually basically like shielded away from the outside wards, and then you find out like basically what the other enemies are, and then the marked ones are not really your enemies. So yeah, obviously the first book I read was Fourth Wing, and I was hooked. this was my first ever book that I dual moduled read. So like I was reading it, but I could not put it down. I was listening to the audiobook in the car because I was like, what is going to happen next? I obviously can't read and drive at the same time. So I was like, I really, really want to know what happens. So I listened to a lot of it when I was driving, and I was reading it, and oh my god, I was so obsessed with this book. I felt like it had everything that I needed and I was looking for. I love Violet. Actually, I love her, but I think she's a little weak sometimes. But I love Xaden. He is like, he is up there on my book boyfriend list, you guys. I feel like because I am a newly reader, these books were perfect for me to follow along. I felt like the characters were easy to follow. I was never confused. I love the dragons in here. And so it hit everything that I needed. And there are sometimes when I read books about fantasy where I'm like, wait, what does that mean? Or like, what is the importance of this? I've learned to just keep reading and then it'll make sense later down the line. I didn't feel that way with this. I felt like I understood everything and I was like, this is such a good, easy read. The action in this is pretty good, but there's better action in the other two books, obviously. I think this was just like getting you hooked right away. Honestly, the side characters, I love them. I feel like Imogen is one of my favorite side characters. Liam's one of my favorite side characters. I'm not a big Rhi fan. I don't know why I just call her Rihanna. I think it's Rhiannon. That's my bad. But I like her, but I'm not obsessed with her. I loved every second of this book, and as soon as I finished it, I didn't even break. I picked up the next book right away because I was like, I need to know what this is. Honestly, I forgot what happened. This is so bad. You guys, I'm one of those readers where like I'll read it, and then since I'm starting my new book, like I kind of forget what happens because since I finished this series, which is just 3 books, and I know that there's a 4th one coming out when she decides to write it, I'm probably gonna have to go back and reread these books, but I forget what happens, you know? I do remember though, at the end of this book, this is kind of a spoiler, but like whatever, her brother is alive, and the whole time we thought that he was dead, and you're just like, what the heck, like what is going on? And there was never really like clarification of like what happened. I had a feeling there was gonna be like something happening, but I just didn't know it was gonna be to this magnitude. Turns out her brother's alive, and I'm like, oh my god, love. Yeah, this was a good one. My rating for this is 5 out of 5. And you guys can hate me. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I rate books on how I feel. So I'm not like, there was no character development, -5 points. Like, I can't do that. I think just reading it made me feel. So reading this book, I was so excited and happy, elated. So I felt like this was a 5 out of 5 read. Like, I wanted to keep reading it. I don't think about like, the plot was so boring, -10 points. Like, I wish I could be more critical in that way, but I think because I'm such a Virgo, I'm just like, I felt happy. This book was amazing. Thank you. And that is literally it. The next book obviously is Iron Flame. I liked, I didn't love. I still love all the characters. Obviously Xaden and his besties. Bodhi, Bodhi does something to me. I love all of them. I love their adventure in this. I will say I did not like Violet and Xaden fighting because I thought it was just so annoying where she's just like, you won't talk to me, blah, 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 blah. He's like, I literally can't talk to you. We're about to die. Duh. Like, I just hated the whole like miscommunication trope because reading it from the perspective, you're just like, oh my god, Violet, like, stop being so annoying. That man loves you. Just accept it. That really upset me. I love her dragons, Terran. Something about him being like an old grumpy dragon. Like, I love that he just puts Violet in place. Although like there's a lot of those dragons relationship building in the first book, I felt like this one, his personality and Indarna's really like shine through, and I was like, ugh, I love this. She's like a dad, or he's like a dad to her. Like, I just love the way that he takes care of her. Obviously they're bonded, so like their lives are kind of intertwined, but I couldn't get over it. I was like, I love the way that he cares for her. In this book also, there's like a little jealousy trope in here, which I love jealousy, but only when it comes from the man. Like when the man is jealous, I'm like, yes, he better be jealous. But when Violet is jealous, I'm like, girl, please, like, come on. And I felt like, okay, so Xaden's ex-girlfriend appears. At first I didn't like her. I didn't like Xaden's ex-girlfriend because she was like pressing Violet like crazy. Like, oh my god, like everything you guys do together, I did with him first. It's giving Sabrina Carpenter taste. But I love that song. And Violet just never told her to shut up. She was just like, okay, like, I'm so angry at Xaden. I'm like, dude, oopsie, maybe I shouldn't swear. She was just so insufferable and annoying. But I will say, I started to love her in this book. Kat, that's her name, Xaden's ex-girlfriend. Something about it is like, I kind of understand her in a way, because how would you feel that to her, the love of her life and the person she's supposed to marry, Xaden, doesn't love you at all, and it was all a lie, but you guys spent so much time together, and then now you see him with another girl, and it's like, I would feel some type of way too. I would feel so hurt and irritated and annoyed. So yes, I started to love Kat. The ending of this book got me. I think I left reading this book like what? Man, that was hard. That was hard for me to deal with. Deep breaths, because I just couldn't handle it. I will say that this book is not a 5 out of 5 though. I think for me this would be like a 4 out of 5. So obviously the last book in that series up to this date is Onyx Storm. And I love this book. I love this book so much. I cried at the end. Let me input a video of me crying. I was reading the last couple chapters of this book, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. I was just spiraling. It was a rainy day. It was like the perfect day to read this book. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing anything. I'm just gonna finish it. So I read it through and I cried so much. They are on a quest in this one to find Indarna's kind, because she is a rare dragon, more rare than the black dragons. So they're going on a quest to find her, and then they jump into these different isles, and through that, obviously, trials and tribulations. You lose some people, unfortunately. This one I would say is my 5 out of 5 star read too. There's a lot of characters in here, and what made it even more special is that at the end, there's a couple chapters from other people's point of view. We get a POV from Imogen, and I love Imogen. And then we get a POV from Ree, which is Violet's best friend. And it was just so good. I don't even know what to say. I need to reread this because it really did make me bawl my eyes out. I felt like I wasn't reading fast enough, but I was crying. This is why I'm not good at giving book reviews, because this is how I talk. I'm just like, oh, I just love it because it makes me feel good. I think that's literally it. I would give this series, as of now, a 5 stars though, because although this one wasn't amazing, the series overall, I loved it, and I'm excited for her other books to come out. And they're also making a show about this, which I'm really nervous about. Like, I just don't want them to make a show about it and ruin it. I really want it to be held to the standards that it should, because obviously all of us in the book community these characters in these books mean so much to us. When I finished with that fantasy, I thought I needed a palate cleanser, and I regret reading this because I did not like this book. Okay, so I read The King of Envy by Anna Huang, and I hate to say that this one just didn't do it for me. And I love her books, but I feel like as I've matured my reading, these books definitely are for people who are just starting out to read, if that makes sense. This was like a 2-star read for me. I'm so sorry. Like, I love Anna Huang. Even King of Pride, the book before this, I wasn't like super obsessed with it either. And I think because a lot of these books sound repetitive, you know? I hate to say that because I loved the Twisted series. Honestly, now that I've read other romances, I feel like it's just mediocre now, but I enjoyed it, and this one, it just wasn't doing it. So basically, it's about a man who is in love with his best friend's fiance. But little do they know, his best friend and the fiance, they're actually faking their like engagement together, and yeah. So he obviously is in love with his best friend's fiance, and I love a jealous man. Don't get me wrong, like I just said there. I love the jealousy, right? But I felt like I knew what was gonna happen because everything that happened in this book has happened in her past, what book is this, 4 books. And on top of that, her other 4 books in the Twisted series. Like, I don't know. I hate saying that, you guys. I hate being a hater. Actually, no. I really don't hate being a hater. But for Anna Huang, I do hate being a hater. Because I had so much hope for this. I was so excited. This is what... Oh, hey, where'd it go? Oh, this is what they look like. So this is Volk. And this is Ayana. And she is the fiance... his best friend's fiance, okay? And... I don't know. It just wasn't doing it for me. I'm sorry, Anna Huang. This was not great. I'm not saying anything. I didn't DNF it, but I skipped a couple chapters at the end because I was like, okay, like, we've been through this before, and yeah. I love a happy ending, okay? I love a happy ending, but just the storyline to get to the happy ending, I was like, why does this sound exactly like Twisted Hate? And why does this sound exactly like a little bit of Twisted Love? I do enjoy, though, that the main characters or the main character is a minority. Like, I think she's Ethiopian. Love that for my girl. Like, Vivian Lau in the first book. Ugh, I'm obsessed with her. I love her. I, like, envision to be her. Except she's more of, like, a baddie than me, which I'm like, I want to be a baddie like you. So anyways, yeah, I'm sorry, you guys. I was telling my boyfriend's sister, don't even waste your time because I could tell you the whole plot right now just by looking at you. So, the last book that I read for May is Quicksilver by Callie Hart. And I read this book because, well, first of all, look how big it is. I didn't realize it was this thick. I read this book because everyone was reading it. My cousin read it, and I was like, okay, obviously there's something that I'm missing here if everyone's getting the hype but me. So I was like, you know what? Fine. The book is about a girl named Saris, and she is kind of like this poor girl, and then she has the ability to control the Quicksilver. She basically gets captive by the human queen, and then they take her, torture her. They were gonna kill her, but she gets saved because she's like next to a Quicksilver pool. She like conjures this man, and his name is Kingfisher, and he comes and saves her, and he takes her back to her world, he takes her back to his world. This, I would say, is like my 4.5 read. I wasn't that interested in it until I probably got to like 70% of the book. And the first half was good. Like, I liked it. I liked the characters. I liked the whole plot and meeting people, whatever. But the second, like 100% of the book, so good. The action in it, the twists, the revelations, everything in it, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I feel like that's when I am the most captivated, when I'm reading action books, especially in a fantasy world like this. So not only are there fae in here, there's humans, obviously. There's vampires that are called feeders. There's like a side character, his name is Carrion. I didn't think I would like him, but I ended up like loving him. I felt like he did his job as the side character. He carried them. He was like 3 steps ahead of them, and he has some like cute and funny comments where I'm like, okay, you know what? As a best friend and her ex-lover, you did your job. The connection of everyone blew my mind. I had no idea, and it definitely was like what was that? What's that word? It took me by surprise, and I really, really enjoyed it. I also think the side character Ren, loved him too. He is basically like Kingfisher's second-hand man, and he gives BDE. I'll say that. My new rule for me is like, I need to not look up the book online, because I see people's like reviews, I see people's opinions, and then it kind of, sometimes it like influences mine. Most of the time, no, but when it's like big books like these where like everyone is reading, I can't help but feel like, oh my gosh, like there's just so much going on. So this is my 4.5 read. I don't know why I didn't say 5, because I feel like I throw 5s out there like, I don't know. The banter between the two though, the two main characters, Kingfisher and Cyrus, I really enjoyed their back and forth, because the tension was building from the second that they were introduced to each other. And you could feel like the build up, the suspense, and then when they like, you know, I'm like, okay, yeah, like built up, pent up energy and anger, like, yeah, this makes sense. But I just like the way that he is so gentle with her, you could say. Ultimately, he knows who she is, and he knows like what she means to him. And I do enjoy the whole story of like, he never told her though until the end, when she came to her own revelation of like, oh my god, we're mates. So yes, I did love that. The smut in here was smutting too, I will say that. I was like, Kingfisher, oh my god. Which, I think the name Kingfisher, I could not get behind it. Like, I was like, Kingfisher what? But then eventually I'm like, okay, Kingfisher. Like, I kind of understood it a little more. I love cliffhangers, but I hate them when the next book is not out yet. So it makes me like anticipate so much. I get so sad. Alright guys, we are at the end of my video. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. I know my opinions are just like so silly, and they probably don't really matter to you, so I appreciate you even watching this video. I'm excited to bring you new books that I'm reading. Forgot to mention, but I did get a Kindle, so I feel like this is gonna be my last physical books for a while. I do have a bunch of other physical books in my closet that I do plan to read if they're not on Kindle Unlimited, but I did get a Kindle. I caved. I couldn't help it. I caved because I had to. I'm kind of sick and tired of buying books. Not in the sense of that I hate books, but in the sense of like, I'm spending so much money on books. Like, I decided to buy a Kindle because it was just more cost effective, which is so sad because I do love the hold of physical books. They smell so good. I love physical books so much, but I felt like in this current economy, I can't. I'm like, so I can't. I'm not spending money like that. Maybe later in my future, when I have a house and I have a beautiful cottage and whatever, I will be buying books like crazy. But right now, I really needed to budget and just sustain this lifestyle. So that's kind of where I'm at. But thank you guys so much for watching my book reviews. If there are, I'm talking as if people watch my videos, okay. If there are any other books that you would recommend me reading, comment them down below, because I would love to expand my genres from just romance and fantasy. I would love to see a little bit of thriller, horror, I don't know, sometimes that gets me a little scared, but just anything different. I feel like I'm not super picky or closed off to new ideas. Yeah, I'm just excited about that. But I do have a bunch of videos that I have filmed and I'm editing, and they will be on their way as soon as possible. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, what the people say. But for now, I think I'm gonna go on a walk now, and I will see you guys maybe next week. Yeah, maybe next week. Okay, goodbye.